Hey YouTube, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. If it's your first time watching my channel, my name is Matt Samolsky. I'm Matt the Car Guy, and on this channel I do car reviews. I try to post twice a week on Wednesday and Sunday. And if you're a subscriber, thank you for being a subscriber. I really appreciate every single view. Now today I have a special treat. Again, BMW of Fort Lauderdale, the largest dealership in the country, allowed me to film some of their vehicles. So when I got to see their inventory, I feel like a kid in a toy store. Guys, I'm going to post a link to their dealership in the description of this video. You can check them out, check out their new and pre-owned inventory. If you have any questions, I'm going to post Chris's number as well. You can call him up and he's going to be able to help you with all of your automotive needs. But let's get back to this. This is 2021 BMW X6M50i. That's the performance version of this coupe model. Now, a few months back, I reviewed the GLE 53 AMG Mercedes. Absolutely loved it. And since then, I've been wanting to review this car because this is what it all started. BMW was the first one actually introducing that SUV coupe to the market, and they've always been known for their sportiness, so I can't wait to take a look at this car, and I want you to go on that journey with me. So we're going to take a look on the exterior, interior. We're going to take a look at the trunk space. Definitely take a look underneath here and see what powers up this thing. And then at the end, we're going to take it for a spin, and you get to hear my thoughts about it. So if you're ready, let's go. All right, guys, take a look at the front of it. How aggressive is that, right? A nice, bold styling. Typical BMW. Now, the coupe has been redesigned, but it still maintained that aggressive look of it that it had the first time it came out. I remember first time I saw this vehicle, not this one, but the previous generation one, I was like, wow, what is it? This looks awesome. It's a combination of a sports car, it's a combination of an SUV, and now it's a performance version of it. Now, the grille, take a look, nicely fit in the beautiful look of this vehicle. The front bumper, it's a sporty bumper. It's an M series car, so it's a sport bumper. It does have those BMW laser lights that adjust as you drive. They're adjustable lights, LED, fully LED with that light signature, typical for BMW. You can see those two lights when they're turned on. I'm gonna see if I can do a close-up of it. inside of that grille, those louvers, like most of the BMW, when the engine gets too hot, they open up to allow more air to get inside of it, so to cool down the engine, to help with the engine cooling. At the bottom of it, you still see these are open, kind of like on that GLE Mercedes. They're open to allow more cooling off the engine. All of that technology, as far as the driver assist, hides right here. That's the front camera, that front lip spoiler, and on the vehicle adds to that sportiness, that aggressive stance of this car. Alright guys, so while we're in the front, let's check out the engine of this BMW. And this is, well, first of all, it looks great, but let me tell you a little bit about it and then I'll show you how it looks. So this is a 4.4 liter V8 engine. It produces 523 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque, and it's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, it is capable of sending this car 0 to 60 in just 4.1 seconds. Now, the 553 foot-pound of torque you get at just 1800 RPM, so at very low RPMs you get all that torque, so it should be really fun to drive. Let me show you this because this looks really cool. So going up to this car, you can see it's not just a regular BMW, and for two reasons. Well, first of all, you can see that it is an M performance engine, right? And as most of the cars right now, they show you the number of cylinders: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's an 8-cylinder engine, turbocharged. You can see how many braces there are from the strut tower, basically, to keep this vehicle together, to enhance the rigidness and the sturdiness and the stiffness of this car for better handling and performance. I'm really excited to take this for a spin. Honestly, I have not driven it yet, so you're going to be the first one driving it with me soon. Alright guys, so check this out. The side profile was really what attracted me and made me look twice. The first time I saw the previous generation of it, I was like, what is it? Is it a coupe? Is it an SUV? Is it a station wagon? Is it a sports car? And it turns out it's a combination of all of it. Now, if you take a look at just the silhouette of this vehicle, you're going to see how sporty it is. This massive, aggressive, masculine hood, and then it goes up and it slopes down at the very end for more aerodynamic, more sporty look. Now this one is dressed in this beautiful Tanzanite Blue Metallic, which is a special color for BMW, and it does have the red leather interior, so I'm excited to show it to you in just a little bit. But before we get to it, let's take a look at the wheels. Now this one has 22-inch wheels. Those are upgraded wheels. It comes standard with 20s, but this has been upgraded with 22-inch wheels. What's different about it too, they're staggered wheels. The size of the tires are the performance tires, of course. They're 275 as far as the width in the front. They're 315 in the back. So somebody once told me, and I think it was my dad, at a long time ago, say, hey, look at the size of the tires. The bigger the tire, the faster, the more powerful car it is. And this one definitely speaks it. Now, if you're taking a look at the design of this vehicle, those BMW laser lights nicely wrap around the front of it. And then you have this is just a design element. Now, it used to be open on the previous versions of BMW. It is the design element, but that body line from here continues all the way at the bottom and goes up right here with the rear fender, as well as the top body line. It goes all the way in here, but they kind of made it look sleeker. They made it look less boxy and cleaner than the previous version. Basically the same thing with Mercedes done with their GLE. But let's continue with this. Roof line slopes down in the back, the shark fins antenna that goes in the back, this massive wheel, and then you can see the lights wrap around in here, and you can see part of that sporty rear bumper, which we're going to take a look at right now. Let's check out the back of this car so we can see, continuing from the side, this wraparound lights go all the way to almost like the middle of this back gate. It's got this little spoiler, lip spoiler on top of that gate. That's mostly for sportiness, decoration. I don't think it does add much downforce, although I wouldn't be surprised if it does give you like that smallest fraction of a percentage for better performance. I mean, everything is well thought of, especially with the M package vehicles. But back to the lights, they're nice wraparound lights, fully LED. They have this typical BMW light signature of it. The X6, it's kind of in the brushed aluminum right here. On the other side, you have the M50i, and you have the reflector light, kind of contoured bumper. It has a lot of lines on it, and you know, I personally like it. It's more complicated than just a very plain Jane bumper, as you can see on some other cars. Two massive exhausts, one on each side of the vehicle, and you have this air diffuser right here. So this is the back of it. While we're here, let's take a look and see how much room there is in that gate area. So first of all, what you can see is that cargo cover, and you can remove it completely or you can just fold it down like I did, and you do have quite a bit of room. Let me show you. Alright, so quite a bit of room. I mean, definitely there might be an issue with loading something that is taller, because look how sloped this is. You can see it from this angle right here. Also, you know, when you close it, I mean, this is up to here only where you can load up some stuff. One of the things that I always check is there's a spare tire, and this one does have a spare tire. Temporary use, but it's there. You can't really, on those performance cars with the big tires, you can't use the regular or the flat tire kit. So one of the things that it might be a little bit tough is to get stuff over this bump. It's pretty high up for loading and unloading the vehicle, and I didn't see any controls for the height control of the back like we've seen with the GLE, as well as the Bentley, as well as a couple other SUVs, the Range Rover that I've reviewed. All right, so let's check out the room in the back seat, and hopefully you can see it right now when the sun hits this color, how beautiful it is. It's not black. I know the car looks really dark, but it's this Tanzanite blue. It really opens up with the sun. But let's get in the back and see how much room there is in here. Hey, so first of all, getting in here, I mean, you don't have as much space as on the regular SUV, so you kind of have to duck a little bit more to get your head in here. I'm 6 feet tall. I got plenty of headroom. Once I get in here, I got just enough legroom. There's not an abundance of it, but there's just enough legroom when I get in, so it's not too bad. Probably if you have a big family or if you carry a lot of people around, it would be easier or better to go with the regular X5 or maybe even X7 for the additional roominess. The seats in the back do not adjust, so there is no way to make this room bigger or smaller, unless you ask the driver, of course, to get closer to the steering wheel. So the interior is very nicely appointed, and I want you to take a look and see how it looks in the back. All right, let's check it out. Well, first of all, I told you it's got the red leather interior. There's no hiding it. It's called Takora Red Verdnaska leather. What else is on these doors other than they're very nicely stitched up with this leather interior? You have this sunshade that we've seen on a couple other vehicles as well. It's a manual sunshade to prevent the sun from getting into the car. Speaker, brushed aluminum, carbon fiber, a nice combination of leather and luxury. All right, let's start with the steering wheel. BMW multifunction steering wheel, very nice, very soft to the touch. It is an M steering wheel, so it's going to be the sporty one. You have those pedal shifters right in the back of it, and then you have your cruise control basically settings on the left hand side. You have your phone and media settings on the right hand side, and then you have this digital instrument cluster, instrument display. So what you see in here, it's actually as you see in most of the modern BMWs. Now, in case you forgot which car you were in, you can see that this is an X6 X6M50i. And where you can see there's this blinking here. What it is, it's basically a system that warns you or helps you, like in case it's looking for your eyes. If it sees your eyes, you're all good, but if it stops seeing your eyes, it's gonna pull the car over, slow it down, just in case you're having an emergency. So this is that system that BMW has. I'm not sure what it's called, but if I find it, I'll put it in the description, or if you know it, put it in the comment section of this video. But as far as the rest of the instrument cluster, you have your tachometer on the right hand side, speedometer on the left hand side, 160, that's the top speed according to the speedometer. I think it's actually 155 hour. You have your fuel gauge, you have your temperature gauge on the right hand side, that is 84 degrees outside, as you can see, and you have 119 miles range. What also it does have the occupant position detection system, which basically when you turn the vehicle on, it's gonna show you that, hey, there's one person that is not wearing a seatbelt, so it's blinking, and then the 3 people in the back are not wearing a seatbelt, but there's nobody there, and now it's gonna disappear because it's gonna check out and see that there's nobody in the back. So you'll see that in just a moment. Now, what else do we have here? Now this is this has the newest BMW infotainment system, which is the 12-inch screen. And I apologize if it's blinking. It's not the screen, it's the camera, and I'm using a different camera today, but you can see general settings, so you can have daytime language, personal assistance unit, so on. Go back home, you have your classic setup as far as the screen. So you have your navigation screen, you have your radio, you have your communication, so if the phone was connected, it's going to tell you what's in there. It is also a touch screen, so you can control it via touch, or you can control it via voice, or you can control it via this dial mouse kind of setup right here. While we're here, and before I forget, take a look at this. Take a look at this shifter. It's absolutely awesome. It looks like a crystal with the X inside. It almost looks like double X, but it's just an X, just so you know you're driving the Performance Series BMW. Carbon fiber trim, shortcuts right here. Turn off your traction control. This is your camera. You can turn on your camera from the front. This turns on the front camera, and we're gonna go through the rest of it really quick. So car settings, experience modes, okay, expressive mode. Now it's the time to enjoy life and positive vibrations. Awesome. Okay, what is the executive mode? Oh, it changes. Look at this. It changes the ambient lighting. It closes the sunroof shade, which was open before, and so it gives you a different mode, well-being mode. Immerse yourself in a relaxed atmosphere and enjoy some downtime. So it does give you that relaxation mode in here. Okay, let's go back home. Let's see, there's different apps. So Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, BMW Store, so that has it all. Media, you can you know, do the stereo regular. You can even have Spotify if you're connected to the internet. Here we're gonna check out the radio in a little bit. I'm basically gonna have to check it out, and you have to trust my word on it, how good it is, because every time I try to test the stereo, YouTube is giving me a copyright claim, so I can't really test it without getting that. So I'm gonna listen to it, and then I'm gonna tell you how good or bad it is. Anyways, here's your climate control settings. Now this is your driver assist configuration. So basically you can turn them all on, all off. You can set the individual settings, and you can check out actually of what different ones are. If you go in here, configure individual, so you can see it's got the forward collision mitigation, side collision warning, lane departure warning, active blind spot detection. So it has all of those as equipment on this particular car. Now this one has the heated and ventilated seats, and this is your basically HVAC controls. This is your media controls. Inside of here you have two cup holders, you have your charger, and this is the digital key. Basically, if you have this, it's going to enable a device, or like a phone for example, to act as your key, and you're going to be able to get in and out of the car and start the vehicle without having the actual key, this bulky key. Now that's a typical BMW key. Lock, unlock, gate, panic button, M series colors right on the side. And let's close this up. Let's look how beautiful this carbon fiber looks on this car. And again, I can't say enough good things about this. This is so different than any other vehicle I have ever seen. But we started off, we can turn off the traction control, turn on your camera, you can actually turn on or off your parking sensors, you can turn off your engine stop button. Basically when the engine is, when you're at the light and the engine turns off, you can turn that feature off in here. Now you have several different driving modes: Sport, Comfort, Eco Pro, and Adaptive. That's predictive adjustment of vehicle settings for the driving situation. So that's going to adapt versus, you know, if it's snow, if it's rain, if it's sand or anything like this, it's going to adjust to it. The Sport is the dynamic settings of this vehicle, so it's going to have the most dynamic adjustments. Now this is your electronic parking brake. You can set this and turn it off right here. Now this one is your hill assist control, and turn that off. Now this dial right here, most of the BMWs, it's the regular dial just like the rest of the car, but if you can see here, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to give you enough detail of it, but this is kind of the same crystal look like this lever shifter right here, as well as that engine start and stop. It's got that crystal look on it as well. This is the interior of this vehicle. Let's take a quick look and see how the dashboard looks. So beautiful leather wrapped dashboard. Now it's got this carbon fiber trim. This is that ambient lighting that the vehicle has. The screen, even though it's big, there's two screens, right? One for the instrument cluster and one for the infotainment system. It's not obstructive, it's kind of set back and visible. It might not have as many features as some of the other ones, but it's got everything that you'll need for everyday driving. Guys, done with the interior. Really, let's take this for a spin. Alright guys, so now my favorite part of this video is going to be a test drive. Now I have not driven this car other than from a parking spot to where we're at right now, so I'm really excited to take it for a spin. I really like that Mercedes-Benz GLE 53. I really like that SVR Range Rover. I know this one's going to be great. Let's see how great it is. Now, before we do anything, we're going to check out a couple things. We're going to check out the turning radius. We're going to check out the rear view camera. We're going to check out the front view camera. And when we're starting, and the reason I'm closer to this wall is I want you to see how these laser lights act when you start it off. When you start off the car, they're going to adjust themselves to the right level. And it depends. See how they're going up, and now they're perfectly level. Depends how many people you have in the vehicle. Some people are heavier on each side, you know, what have you. If you have tons of stuff in the back, they're gonna adjust just to the right driving position. Now these lights also turn as you turn your steering wheel, so you can see them hopefully on the wall right there, how they react to when I turn the steering wheel. So those are the intelligent lighting. Front view camera, let's take a look at here, and you can see those lights. Actually, we're going to move them so you can see how they move in case you haven't seen them on the regular through the regular camera. But front view camera, really nice activation point. I'm not sure what this is. Okay, this is probably not for it. Okay, camera image and settings. Now the rear view camera, let's check it out. This is a 360 camera. I love those 360 cameras. Now you can see the vehicle, and the way it works, you can see the vehicle right on the right side of the screen. It looks kind of like the camera is on top of the vehicle, which is not, but you can see the vehicle. You can even see the parking lines and see, I almost parked good. And then you have the automatic parking. This is turned on, so let's see if we can turn this on and see if we can park it by itself. So now it's in reverse. Camera image, parking aid lines, obstacle mark, that's camera settings. Automatic PDC activation, view is shown automatically with parking in the rear, so you can actually set it off that the vehicle will brake itself if it detects an obstacle in the back, or on the sides, or both. So this is interesting. But if you're good at parking, you know, this is just an aid. It's not really designed to park for you, but some people might use it as such. So let's check out the turning diameter of this vehicle. I like those seatbelt tensioners. When you get in, they kind of pull you in. And let's see what we have. So we have one. Oh wow, this is probably tighter than on some of the other cars that I've seen. Very nice turning radius. And now we're going to take it for a spin and see how this vehicle handles. You can feel the power of this car just sitting in here and just driving it like in this parking lot. You know that you're driving something that's quick, but it's not overly aggressive. So in other words, it doesn't want to get out of control. All right, I'm going to shut up now, and then we're going to take it around the block. All right, so we're going to take it on the road now and see the performance of this vehicle. Now I know it's going to be a short test drive. I wish there was more the ability to take it for a longer one, but hey, we'll deal with what we have, and I'm glad that I'm able to, well, it gets up to speed really quickly. Now it does have the lane assist, lane keeping assist, so if you're not turning, like if you don't indicate that you're going to be turning, it's going to try to keep you in that lane. And this is what my mistake, what I did is did not turn on the turning signal. Another thing that it has, it does have the heads-up display. Hopefully that this camera is catching it. So basically it tells you the speed and the speed limit, and the speed changes. Like let's say you're over speed limit, your actual indicator is going to turn red, so it's basically a warning saying, hey, you're going over the speed limit. I love the sound of it. It's loud, but it's not overly aggressive. It's lets people know around you that you're driving a powerful car, as well as let you know. And I do think it's speaker assisted, so you can hear it better on the inside as well. But nevertheless, I mean, this is like music to my ears. I think I said that when I was reviewing the M850. It's kind of a similar deal, similar engine, and a similar handling of this vehicle. But you know, before we hit it, and I'm glad I'm the first one here, so I'm going to be able to hit it off the line. But before we do that, let's talk about price. So, because that's important, and that's I have the sticker right here, so I don't want to miss, you know, the features on it. But this vehicle starts at $86,250. That's the base model the vehicle. Now this one has a few options on it. It has the driver's assistant pro package, so that is $1,700. Parking assistance package, $800, and $3,300 is basically the executive package, which is that what they call the panoramic sky lounge LED roof, the icon adaptive LED with laser lights, so that's extra, that's $3,300. The color, that's Tanzanite Blue Metallic, is $1,950, and then extended shadow line trim. Here, let's hit it. Wow, very effortlessly gets up to speed. Now obviously everything within the reason, but you don't feel it. That's what I like about BMW, that they're so surprising when you actually accelerate, and it goes like crazy. Oh, even going uphill. That's a very nice acceleration on this vehicle. Very comfortable too. That's one thing I didn't mention. It's super comfortable as far as, you know, sitting in it. The seats they're not sporty seats, they're more of a comfort seats, but regardless, they're very nice and comfortable. So going back to price, $86,250 starting price of the vehicle. This particular one's $97,495, so almost $100,000. So it's not a cheap vehicle, but neither are any of its competitors. So it falls very well in range, and you get a lot of vehicle for it. I tell you, I mean, the leather seats, the handling of it, the 22-inch wheels, you know, that's part of this package for $97 grand, just under $100,000. It's a lot of money, but definitely worth looking into if you're looking for a SUV, but not very suburban soccer mom type of deal. If you want to have this mean badass machine, then you got to be looking at one of these as well. Guys, I'll give this vehicle a huge thumbs up. I mean, it's a great vehicle. It feels very comfortable. It feels very sporty. It feels very capable. And great job, BMW, for redesigning it. That digital screens are a huge improvement over the previous generation X6. And it also feels better. It drives better, I think, than the other one. So with that said, if you like this type of videos, please hit like, subscribe, share, whatever you can do to support this channel. I really appreciate it. Also, again, a big thanks to BMW of Fort Lauderdale, the largest BMW dealership in the country, for letting me film this vehicle. And before we end this vehicle, let's hit it again. Now that's not ludicrous mode, but it's pretty darn close, and it feels great, it looks great. Guys, I will see you in my next video. Cheers.